Hi, welcome back to TV Fails, where we examine shows from my era that lasted one season or less.
This looks like the last stop to nowhere.
Well, if he's around here, he shouldn't be too hard to find.
That's what you said a week ago in Guadalajara.
Well, we're here and may as well ask around.
Excuse me, we're looking for an American named McWhirter. Do you know him?
Sabe.
Por favor, señor. Hay un americano en este pueblo de nombre McWhirter.
Yo no sé.
McWhirter.
Ven.
First it's quien sabe, who knows. Then it's yo no sé, I don't know. Then suddenly it's venga, come with me. Spanish is an amazing language when there's cash involved. He says, that's Senor Mac's house right over there. Then he runs away like a scared rabbit. Who is Senor Mac anyway?
Señor McWhirter, por favor.
Yo no sé. ¿Quién sabe?
Quien sabe. How come it's always quien sabe?
Because they're trying to get rid of you, duh. Honey starts knocking on the door and suddenly the lady is awake.
No here. Senor Mike, no here. You go cantina. No here. No here. No.
Okay.
No here.
I'm not sure why all the panic. If he's not there, what's the harm on knocking on the door? But she says, go to the cantina, so we go to the cantina.
Tourists. Americans.
Our tipster is a homing pigeon.
If you expected anything less, you do not know these little towns.
Las Lashatsi. Welcome to my humble...
Be ever so. Where's Mr. McWhirter?
McWhirter. No one by that name has ever been here.
Try Senor Mac.
What's upstairs?
Please, senor. Upstairs it is private.
Well, it's clear we won't find what we're looking for here. Sorry to bother you, adios and all that.
Grappling hook!
As they suspected, McWhirter is up there.
Boy, has he got unfriendly company.
What's left of him anyway. They dash upstairs. Should be easy to catch this guy and recover McWhirter's body. Or not. We'll never learn how they disposed of the body, but there's nothing Sam and Honey can do about it except write this off as a bad job and go home. But Honey's not ready to do that. She wants to check out McWhirter's house. As usual, Sam isn't tough enough to stop her. Detective schools didn't start teaching the whole check your corners idea until well after she had graduated.
Oh, hello there. Expensive shirts. Nobody to wear them. And that radio transmitter. That's why McWhirter came to this village.
Too bad you came in here.
Our man has an accomplice in the next room. Time to go. He recovered in a hurry. Now may we go home?
McWhirter's my only witness. Now he's dead.
We can't even prove that.
The Mexican authorities were given some song and dance by Shotzi and witnesses that we were drunk. Yeah. Well, thanks for trying, huh?
I'm not used to Joe Don Baker being that young. In fact, going by the listing on IMDb, this was his very first acting job, at least on television. Most of us know him from multiple James Bond movies, among other things. Right now his name is Rocky and he's their client. He sent them after McWhirter, but that's a dead end now, literally. What's he trying to do? Honey says, let's go over it one more time for the audience.
Now, look, I was trucking missile parts that night. I came in, I put 2 bits in this jukebox, and I said, right over here. Now, McWhirter was on a run, too. He came in sitting out here. There was some big guy sit over here.
What did he look like?
Well, not like you, I'd remember.
He talked with McWhirter, drank his coffee, and left. 10 minutes later, he was so sleepy he had to pull over. He woke up several hours later, checked the truck, and nothing was amiss.
I pulled in late and I got fired. The security report is unreliable. Now I can't get a job anyplace.
Somebody slipped you a Mickey.
He can't figure out why unless they were trying to get him fired, and he has no idea why anybody would want to do that. Apparently, McWhirter reported that Rocky was drinking, and he has no idea why McWhirter would do that either.
Now, look, I was drinking coffee just like he was, like the guy next to... Hey, I just remembered something. It probably doesn't make any difference. What? Well, the big guy next to me,
He was bald.
how'd you know?
She saw him take out McWhirter, that's how. She's not ready to tell him that.
Rocky, do all the big rigs for Gage Electronics carry classified materials?
A few.
Do they all stop here?
Yeah, this is the first break in the run.
When you get right down to it, it's not hard to figure out what's happening. Our bald guy slips the driver a drug. They wait until the driver is asleep. He and his cohorts open the truck and photograph the stuff that's in it. Nobody's the wiser. McWhirter was in on it, and when the gang realized that someone was chasing him, he had to be eliminated. Suddenly, the diner has a gorgeous new waitress, and the trucking company has a hunky new driver.
Well, the truck fleet's in.
And I'm sure glad I docked you, baby.
You a rig boy?
That's right, Gage Electronics. Day run, so my nights are open.
But my doors are closed.
What time do you get off?
Just in time to put my dear old mother to bed.
Meet me outside, I want to talk to you.
He has a new lead to tell her about, and a new potential suspect.
Well, I was snooping around the plant, and I came across McWhirter's old locker and found that in it. An expensive jacket, custom made.
So in Mexico, his suitcases were filled with custom-made silk shirts.
So look at the label.
Especially made for John Raven.
John Raven is a rich guy who likes expensive clothes. That's more or less everything we know about him.
I wear my clothes for one season, then I give them to various charities. You understand, tax deduction.
She says this guy had a suitcase full of brand new expensive shirts. You're telling me he picked this up at a thrift store?
It topped the cue ball.
You do better.
Only if I remember what Daddy taught me.
While she's running the table, she's trying to get more information from him. He's trying to get something else from her.
Dinner, 8 o'clock.
I pass.
We could have a game.
You wouldn't like the way I play. I call my own shots.
And he's a guy who's threatened by women who can do that. Guess you'll be eating alone, dude.
How did you get my jacket?
McWhirter? Oh, he was here one day. I was giving away some of your clothes. He liked it. I saw no harm. What I'd like to know is, how did she find it?
Raven is played by Vincent Beck, whom we've seen many times here at the zoo, twice in The Time Tunnel and once in Lost in Space. His career began with a part in Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, which just goes to show you that with enough determination you can overcome most anything.
We emptied his apartment.
That leaves only one possibility. His locker at the plant. She's got someone working there.
Probably her partner. He was with her in Mexico.
Find him. And we'll bury them both.
Our hitman's name is Tripp, but I love his real name, Larry D. Mann. Larry the Man. He's also familiar to us. We saw him multiple times in Hogan's Heroes. He'll be back for another episode of Honey West, so keep an eye out for him. That distinctive look of his kept him busy for his whole career. And by the way, if you grew up on holiday specials like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you know what I mean. You know him as Yukon Cornelius, the old prospector who knows all about Bumbles.
We could get 5 years for breaking and entering.
Don't be silly, Sam. We're not going to break anything.
I'm very funny. You're gonna laugh us right out of our license. You said there was a houseman?
We'll have to chance it.
Hey, Sam, what you're doing is technically called burgling. She plants a bug on the phone and then starts looking around.
Sam. 1 and 1 does make 3.
McWhirter's last stop.
From McWhirter to Shotzi to Raven.
And the killer?
Was he protecting with 2 locks?
It's a dark room. That would be where they develop the film they shoot of the classified missile parts. Sam wants to call the Secret Service, but they don't have anything solid to present. And someone's at the door. And now we know why his name is Tripp.
You're closer.
And besides, she does it sexier. However, Raven caught them because Honey couldn't stop laughing when Sam stood up and his pants fell down.
They were here because of your clumsiness, leaving my jacket in his locker. I don't know how much they know. What does your new truck driver look like? Wait. I'll put Tripp on. He's seen him.
Probably talking to somebody at the plant.
That's the guy.
It's all arranged. Sam's shift will get changed and they'll deal with him the same way they dealt with Rocky at the diner. But Sam knows that they know who he is, and they don't know that Sam knows that they know who he is, so he can be prepared. How?
Barcotoxin. All I do is just add it to the water?
But remember, it must be swallowed immediately after the barbiturate dose, or it won't counteract the effect.
There is no actual antidote to barbiturates. The closest anybody's come is dumping a bunch of activated charcoal down you, which may or may not work. Our man there developed this stuff, but forgot to write down the formula, which is why we've never heard of it since.
Hey, Bolt. Hey, Swetlow, what do you say? Coffee?
Yeah.
The coffee. What are you doing here? You look like a civilian.
I thought I was through for the day, but then we ran into some trouble with the rigs, and I had to come down and straighten it out.
He's the supervisor of the drivers, Sam's boss. And now we know what else he is.
Thank you.
He's a terrible spy is what he is. That was about as subtle as a charging rhinoceros. Honey has a glass of water ready with the antidote.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'll go in the kitchen and get him up. Here, you fill the thermos.
All right.
Or not. Now what? Sam doesn't dare drink the coffee.
Here's your thermos, Sam. You better hurry. I didn't fill it. Waste not, want not.
You're right, babe. I can't drive without my coffee.
Swetlow isn't sure what just happened. Swetlow thinks it's going according to plan. So does Sam.
Honey, are you there?
You're loud and clear.
In about 2 minutes, I'm going to pull over. They're following me about a half a mile behind. So don't get too close.
Don't worry, I'll be good.
Sam pulls over, puts a tracking beacon in his hat, and slumps over the steering wheel, out cold. They don't leave the trucks in place while they do this. They have a safe spot not far away, so they'll take him there and dispose of him. After they get those money shots, that is.
Honey, are you there?
Not more than 20 feet.
When I throw the flare, move in.
This is so good, I'm gonna see what I can get away with.
Raven. Croak the raven, nevermore.
More like, quoth the raven, clunk. Make that multiple clunks. The Secret Service is very appreciative.
A good-looking guy, ain't he?
Sam, do you really think they'll give us a medal?
Is that what that Agent 00 something or other was telling you about?
Handsome, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't think he was so
It was
handy.
mass assault.
She does enjoy pushing Sam's buttons.
Here, I got your call. What happened?
Here.
Well, what was he talking about?
Hey, what did the Secret Service man say?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Shut up.
You mean the handsome one?
Yeah, the handsome
Hey, look,
one.
what happened, huh?
He was very thorough. He asked a million questions.
What was your phone number, and are you married, maybe?
Well, maybe he wants me to join the Secret Service.
There are no women in the Secret Service.
Hey, look, I don't like to interfere, you know, but I'm only your client. What happens to me?
And you got your job back.
When I was 15, my parents and I hopped in the car and started driving. We didn't have a definite destination in mind, so we basically circled the United States. We were at a motel somewhere in Tennessee, and I was at the pool. I spotted this really pretty girl and struck up a conversation. Suddenly, this guy is next to her asking what's going on. I said, "Who's this?" She said, "My brother." He gave a little swagger and said, "Actually, I'm her boyfriend." She looked at him like this and said, "He's my brother." Sam reminds me of that guy. Nobody's good enough for his sister, I mean partner. He's strictly hands-off, so every other guy should be too. Oh, and that guy? I couldn't help myself. I said, "You must be a heck of a boyfriend if she's passing you off as her brother." It was one of those moments that you'd love to have last forever. That was, okay, do that again. That was hideous. And he has no idea why McWhirter would do that either. I can say McWhirter. I already did one. It's a gorgeous new waitress and trucking and man, I was so close. Like Red off the Rude-Nosed Reindeer. I mean, you know what I mean. You know, you know what I mean. Come on. Get it right. It's all arranged. I can say arranged. The closest anybody.